Hello, it's V back for another video. See, I promise, still wearing the same clothes, but I'm going to do the Crone Within tag. And I've watched both Debbie's and Crone Mirror. And I've decided that I'm going to use this deck. I chose it because it is my very first tarot deck I ever bought. I bought it early 90s, and I figured if I'm going to be doing a tag called the Crone Within, might as well use my oldest deck. So that's what I'm doing. And I got my glasses because the little book is so tiny. All right, so got my water. I'm going to try not to make this too long, but I listened back to my last video and my voice was all gravelly, so I needed some water. I had COVID for most of November, so I still have some residual stuff. Anyway, all right, so the Crone Within. This was kind of hard because I am still learning the tarot. I just barely, my cat, every time I start talking, she gets off the couch. She doesn't like me talking. But anyway, so I got the questions here on my phone, and I've already pulled my cards. And so we'll see what is coming up. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to say the question, show the card that came up, and then I'll read my book. And then I'll see what thoughts came through. Because I've kind of gone through it, and some of them I'm like, how. Now, I don't read reverse, but I think a couple of these cards, the reversal meaning is the one that seemed to resonate more with me. So we're gonna see where it goes. So first question, gotta put the old fogey glasses on because, you know, when you're 55, your eyes don't work so well. Anyway, all right, so the questions here. Number one, what truth have I carried in silence for too long? And I got the Ace of Cups. You can see that. It's kind of a cool card because you have, you know, this woman up here and she's nursing two children. You have this kind of cornucopia, and then you have this cat down here with nursing little babies. Very, like all I see is abundance when I look at this card. So I'm not sure what truth I have carried for so long in regards to the Ace of Cups. So let's look to see what the meaning is here. Let's get to the cups. Still have I apologize for sniffing. I still have still have nose stuff going on. All right. So the Ace of Cups. Okay. So according to the book, the divinatory meanings are great abundance, obviously, fulfillment, perfection, joy, fertility, opulence, fullness, happiness, productiveness, beauty and pleasure, goodness, overflowing, favorable outlook. But the reverse meanings is change, alteration, erosion, instability, sterility, unrequited love, clouded joy, false heart, and inconsistency. So according to the question, what truth have I carried in silence so long? And this is where the reverse meaning kind of makes a little bit more sense. Because now I want to preface this, I don't know if this is the truth, or it's just the truth that I guess taught myself to believe. I don't know. Because the whole change, alteration, the erosion, the instability, and the word that popped out is inconsistency. Because my my wish is to be consistent. My wish is to be stable. My wish is to have great fulfillment and great abundance too. But honestly, I think sometimes some parts of my life I have too much abundance. I don't think abundance is always positive, because there's a lot. Now, the good stuff I'm very abundant in, but I'm also very abundant in a lot of bad stuff, at least bad stuff from my perception. So I think when it comes to the question, what truth have I carried in silence for too long? Um, I would have to say it's shame of being inconsistent, the shame of not being stable, the shame of clouding my own joy in something, because it's not, I'm not living up to my potential in my eyes. Now, granted, all of this is twisted in my head because I'm an ADHDer and I've been in burnout for like 3.5 years now. So, um, I know my perception is off. So, but that's what came to me when I was looking at that. So I think the truth that I've carried in silence is my truth of the shame of not being stable and consistent. That's kind of how I read it. Um, and we'll see if how many things. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm in my tower era. Um, like everything is crashing, to make way for something new. So, my previous perception of myself, I know logically it's not the truth, but I have manipulated myself into saying that that is the truth. So that's what I got from that. So that is oh, my phone shut off. Yeah, so that's the truth I've carried for too long. Because I've kind of felt that way almost my entire life, especially in the last few years. All right, so question number 2. What boundary is asking to be blessed, not justified? Now, I got the 8 of coins. So you can see the card. So these are very cool cards. The 8 of coins. So let's see what the 8 of coins have to say. And what I have gotten from there. Tiny little book. Okay, the 8 of coins. The divinatory meanings. We have apprenticeship, craftsmanship, one who is fast to learn, candor, frankness, modesty, handiwork, personal effort. And the reverse meanings, lack of ambition, vanity, conceit, usury, hypocrisy, flattery, intrigue. So what boundary is asking to be blessed, not justified? I would probably think my own personal effort, because I may not achieve what I want to achieve, but I work hard just to get through it. And I think, I don't know if it needs to be blessed, if this boundary needs to be blessed, but I don't think I need to justify it. I don't need to justify myself. I struggle. I struggle all the time. I struggle every day. My ADHD takes over. And then my autism is left saying, what's going on? So it's just, it's all a mess in my head. but that's what I'm thinking, that is the personal effort. Now, maybe I'm not reading that question properly, but what boundary is asking to be blessed, not justified? I guess reading it again, I I what just came to me is I need to I need to see the effort. I need to not be so horrible to myself. And I need to be the one that needs to bless the effort. Nobody needs to do that for me. I'm the one that needs to do that. So, yeah. Gosh, these are deep questions. Sonia, they're deep questions. Anyway, but she's a deep thinker, so it makes sense. All right, so let's move on to question 3. So, question 3. What part of me is ripening in the dark? Interesting. I got the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. So, let's see what the Page of Wands has to say. And this one, I think I was like, It took me a little bit, but... So, the Page of Wands. What part of me is ripening in the dark? Now, the divinatory meetings, a faithful and loyal person, an envoy, emissary, and trusted friend, a stranger with good intentions, a consistent person, a bearer of important news. The reverse meanings, indecision in proceeding, reluctance, instability, inability to make decisions, a gossip, bearer of bad tidings, a person who may break one's heart, and displeasure. There's a lot in there. That's kind of loaded. This particular card is quite loaded. And I'm, looking at it, he looks like he's got a cape of he's got, I think that might be a tiger. He's got a tiger cape draped over him. But okay. So, what part of me is ripening in the dark? I would like to say that what's ripening in me is being a consistent person. Being a bearer of important news. I think I'm already fulfilling that role. A stranger with good intentions. I think that is what is ripening. The reverse meanings is where I am right now on the surface. So I don't think that would be the same thing as ripening. So I'm going to say that the person that is ripening, especially with my my desire to better myself and pull myself out of this rut that I've been in, is the consistent person. And to continue to be the bearer of important news, because, many of you, if you've watched my videos, you know that one of my main spirit guides is a spider. And, you can see one right over there. I got one. I had to decorate my mom's house for Halloween, so I brought him home, and so he saw me up. Anyway, and, if you know anything about the lore of the spider, they've done a lot. If you look at all the different mythologies around the world, spider created words, spider created language, spider created the universe, spider creates everything, spider creates communication and connects everything, and so I'm hoping that is what is ripening in the dark, is the bearer of important news, that grid weaver that I was talking about in the last video, because I do resonate with that term, being able to, create a network of truth and of connection. That's really important to me. So that's what I think is ripening in the dark. 4, what wisdom do I hold that others fear? Now this was this was a little crazy because I don't know I don't know exactly what it means, but let me just get to the page and then I'll show you the card. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I got the Hanged Man. This is kind of where I've been for like the last year, just sitting and waiting. So what wisdom do I hold that others fear? Got the Hanged Man. So let's see what the Hanged Man has to say. All right, so divinatory meanings, sacrifice, life in suspension. There you go. Transition, change, reversal of the mind and one's way of life, Tower year. Apathy and dullness, boredom, abandonment, renunciation, events with an uncertain outcome, the period of respite between significant events, repentance, readjustment. Efforts may have to be made to reach a goal, which still may not be attained. The approach of new life forces. This is the time to condition oneself for new experiences, surrender, lack of progress, unappreciated person. If you watched my last video, there's that's loaded. I don't know. So what wisdom do I hold? Like what's the wisdom that people fear in that? I mean it's me. But maybe the wisdom in that. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the Hanged Man, and I'm in my Tower era, and I think maybe what it's saying is you need this energy to move you through things or times of great change. I don't think when it comes to change, when it comes to like the Tower, things are crumbling, making way for something new. And the one thing that I can think of is, what I've had to do is I have to have patience, and I have to wait for the pieces to fall before I can pick them up and build something new. And that takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of care and thoughtfulness. I am the type of person, when I see the Tower card, I see hope. I see a breakdown of what doesn't serve us and a removal of obstacles so we can become who we need to become. And so I'm not afraid that I'm in my Tower era. I'm not afraid of things crumbling around me so I can pick the pieces back up and build something better. I'm not afraid of that. But I think the wisdom in that, and I think what this is saying is that there's a time. Everything is divinely inspired, divinely designed, and divinely timed. And we need to have the patience and the fortitude to basically stay balanced, stay calm, and get through it. Because if you end up getting, like I've been the past year, anxiety ridden and anger ridden and frustrated and sad and full of shame and all of that stuff that the tower can bring, if you don't work through it intentionally, then it can definitely do damage to our own psyche. And so having the wherewithal to have patience, to understand that your time is coming, don't rush it. I think that's what the wisdom of this card is. That's what just came to me. So hopefully that helps somebody. And if you think I'm onto something, let me know something in the comment, because that was an interesting, like, I did not see that until I just got on camera, because I was questioning it a little bit. But that makes a lot of sense, especially if I'm in my tower year or tower era. The Hanged Man is full of wisdom when you're dealing with something like that. All right. Well, there you go. Okay. Number 6. Oh, no, number 5. What story must I compose to walk freely? Now, I got 9 of Swords. So, let's see what the 9 of Swords has to say. There's 9 of Swords. All right. Divinatory meanings for the 9 of Swords. Misery, concern, quarrel, unhappiness, miscarriage, anxiety over a loved one, worry, despair, suffering. The reverse meanings: doubt, suspicion, slanderous gossip, shame, scruple, timidity, shady character, reasonable fear. So what story must I compose to walk freely? This one was a little bit, I think this is going to sound really weird, but I think both meanings, I think I need to blend both meanings, because you got the suffering, you have concern, you have anxiety over a loved one, worry, and then for the reverse meaning, you have doubt and shame and, like, timidity. I think those are the words that pop up for me. There's a lot of stuff. I carry a lot of shame because of just being in burnout for so long. It's just, you carry a lot with that, because you end up regressing, and things that I used to be able to do quite well, I can't do anymore. I don't, I'm not able to do, like, daily routine stuff like I used to. Everything's a chore, and my ADHD, I have to fight every single day. And I also have PDA, so if I have to do something, my brain will do everything else except for what I have to do, because it's just hard. Executive function through the roof. So I have, or is actually, no, through the floor. It's awful. So I had carry a lot of shame, and because of the shame, I'm very timid about moving forward, because when you sit in that shame for so long, your you're afraid to make mistakes. You're afraid to move forward because you can't trust your brain. You're afraid to move forward because you can't trust your abilities. Um, like I was supposed to do the magic rocks, and I still want to do it. I have a crap ton of crystals in my office that I have not done anything with, because one of the things that I'm afraid to do is if I start everything going and I'm like, I would not be able to get the orders out on time. Like I need help with that because I cannot rely on myself to get to the post office. And I have not been able to get my brain in a space where I can look up to see if there's services that would come to the house and stuff like that. I mean, I know there are ways to do it. There are many people just like me who do the same thing that I want to do with no, you know, problems. I mean, I guess they have some problems if they have ADHD, um but for the most part, it's like people are doing it. Why can't I? And so I have a lot of timidity, a lot of fear, and that causes a lot of concern and misery and worry and despair and all of that stuff. So, I think maybe what this question is since I'm in my tower era, that these are some of the things that I have to walk through. And I have to be willing to walk through it to get to the other side. Um, so, yeah. So, yeah. Nine of Swords for question number 5. Question number 6. What mask am I ready to burn? I got another weird one. And since I don't know, maybe some of you guys that know tarot would see it right away, but I don't see it right away. But I did see something maybe in the things, and that's the King of Cups. I know this is not necessarily a good card. So what mask am I ready to burn? King of Cups. So let's go to King of Cups. Let's see what it says. King of Cups, divinatory meanings, responsibility and creativity, a learned person, professional, religious person, scientist, a considerate person, kindliness, reliability, liberal manner, artistic person, interest in the arts and sciences, generosity. That all sounds great. But the question is, what mask am I ready to burn? Like, I don't think I want to burn any of those masks. So I'm assuming that this card, the reversed meaning, is what this question is calling for. That is artistic temperament, double dealing, dishonesty, scandal, loss, ruin, injustice, a crafty person without virtue, shiftiness. So, I don't know, can you see where I'm a little confused? Because I don't necessarily want to get rid of all the good stuff. If that's the mask that I'm carrying, why would I want to get rid of being a learned person or a religious person or a kind person, reliable person? Like, you don't want to get rid of that mask. So if I just stick with the reversed meanings, I think this has to do with how I relate to myself. Because I don't do any of this stuff outwardly to other people. But I think I'm dishonest to myself. And I am the worst at self-sabotage. I can destroy anything that I want to do. Just because I'm afraid to do it, and there's just a carry the shame, and so I just don't go forward. So the whole a crafty person without virtue. I mean, I'm a Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. I mean, I pretty creative. So I think the reverse meaning has to do with how I look at myself and how I relate to myself. And I think that's the mask that I need to shed. I need to shed this mask of not believing in myself. Living in the fear that I'm going to fail. Living in like that type of stuff. That's what I'm getting from that. So if you think anything else, if I'm getting that correct, like I said, I'm just learning tarot. But this reversed is not a good card. But I guess I don't resemble those traits. But I'm awful to myself. And I think that might be what that question is and what mask I need to burn about that. Okay, so 7. What grief is sacred enough to name aloud? And I got the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands. So let's see what that. So 3 of Wands. All right, 3 of Wands. Divinatory meetings. Practical knowledge, business acumen, enterprise, negotiations, trade, commerce. Reverse meanings, assistance with an ulterior motive, treachery, diminishing adversity, beware of help offered. So what I got from this, what grief is sacred enough to name aloud? What grief is sacred enough? I think what grief is sacred enough to name aloud? I would say when it comes to my executive functioning, my lack of executive functioning, especially right now, I know I need help, but it's hard for me to ask for it. Number one, my husband, if he had the time, he would help me, but my husband works 7 days a week, and asking him to do more, he's carrying so much right now because I can't do half the crap that I used to do. Asking him to take a whole day out of his week to help me get something silly done, it's just not, I just don't, I see that not being fair to him, so I never ask. The other thing is I don't really have a lot of, friends, like in-person friends. I have some, but I'm afraid to ask them for help. Mainly because I'm ashamed of my house. I'm ashamed that I can't do this stuff. A 55-year-old woman who can't do stuff. So I don't ask. I just don't ask for things. And I think maybe the grief that I need to name aloud is the fact that I'm just afraid to ask for help. And that causes a lot of grief. Because why can't I be normal? But yeah, I think that's what that's for. All right, so the next one. What does my rage protect? Let me see. 8. Okay, yeah. What does my rage protect and what does it reveal? And this one, I don't think it's protecting much of anything. I think it's all about revealing. Because I got, I'll just get to my page here. I got the 4 of Cups. So, I mean, I love the fact, look at all that green. So pretty. Anyway, I love this deck. All right, so 4 of Cups. What does my rage protect and what does it reveal? All right. Well, divinatory meanings, weariness, aversion, disgust, unhappiness, bitter experience, stationary period in one's life, In the reverse meaning, new possibilities, new relationships, new approaches to old problems, new acquaintances, new knowledge. So, what does my rage protect? What does it reveal? It reveals everything in the divinatory. It reveals my weariness. It reveals my aversion. It reveals my disgust, my unhappiness, my bitter experience. And it reveals the stationary period in my life. That hanged man thing. But yeah, I think that's what my rage, because oh gosh, my autistic rage, it's bad sometimes. It's bad sometimes. I just had it a little bit. I got a new nose ring, and I just, my nose is so sore right now because I got so mad at my nose that I think I injured it. But I got the ring in. But yeah, a lot of antibiotics and cleaning it with alcohol until it heals. But yeah, no, my rage, yeah, that's what it's revealing. Because the more I rage, the more that stuff is being kind of put out to the open. I don't think it's protecting anything, except for the fact it's protecting me from where I'm supposed to be. It's basically saying, oh, well, no, you can't go over there because you could get hurt. Don't worry about new possibilities because they're scary. That's the only way they're protecting me. So, yeah, that's that. All right, so question number 9. We got 2 more left, and then we're done. All right, what ritual will help me release what no longer serves? And I got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. What ritual? So if I go to the Wheel of Fortune, that is the 10 card. The divinatory meanings: destiny, fortune, fate, outcome, felicity, godsend, special gain or unusual loss, culmination, approaching the end of a problem, inevitability, unexpected events may occur, the course of things from beginning to end, advancement for better or worse, progress, good or bad luck depending on nearby cards, and the reverse meanings: failure, ill luck, broken sequence, unexpected bad faith, interruption or inconsistency due to unexpected events, outside influences not contemplated. So, what ritual? Well, if you go through that, probably the best rituals that would help me get through this would probably be like an open roads, or a letting go, self-love. That just popped into my head. I think some of those rituals will help me release what no longer serves me. Because what I've been going through for the last few years, it does not serve me. So yeah, I would think because I got this Wheel of Fortune and what it means, as far as both reversed and upright definitions, I would assume that my best rituals would be self-love, open roads, and letting go rituals. Maybe cord cutting, but I don't know what I would cut. I think more letting go, like creating some type of ritual where I can release the chains that have bound me, kind of thing. So yeah, Wheel of Fortune for question number 9. Question number 10. What legacy do I choose to leave behind, not out of duty, but of devotion? And I got, let's get to it. I got the Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins. So what does the Knight of Coins say? Divinatory meanings: a mature and responsible person. Methodicalness, this medieval language. Patience, reliability, persistence, ability to conclude a task, laboriousness, organized person. And I don't think the reverse matters here. The legacy that I would like to leave behind out of devotion is, I guess, everything that I will learn, what I have learned and what I will learn about getting through this tower moment. I think that that's the legacy I want to leave. Helping people get through something in a responsible way, to be able to take all that you have, what your brain does, how you move through your day, just naturally, and be able to harness that to become the person you want to become, to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, to help you get to a point in your life where you can look back and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did that. I taught others to do that too. And I've left the world a better place by helping people manage what they have. Because you can't, when you have situations or mental situations like I have, like, ADHD, there's no need to fix that, but you need to manage it. And once that's managed, you may have some superpowers in there that you just need to find and uncover. And if you can kind of use what you've got and be able to, like I said, achieve your own goals and your own dreams and become that responsible, stable person that you wish to become, then I think that would be a really good legacy to leave behind. And hopefully, I pay it forward, they pay it forward, and more people can benefit from, I don't know, tips and tricks and all those different things. I don't know. I think that's what, I think that's a good way to end this video. What legacy do I choose to leave behind? Not out of duty, but out of devotion. And I think that would be it. Because we're all different. We all got to function. And we all have dreams. And if there's a way to do it without having to worry about changing who you are to do it, I don't know. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good plan to me. I don't know. Yeah. So that is my the crone within tag. Yeah. So that's that. So, yeah. So we got Ace of Cups, Eight of Coins, Page of Wands, Hanged Man. That's probably the card that stands out the most. Yeah, Nine of Swords, King of Cups. These cards are so pretty. Three of Wands, Four of Cups, and this, another good card, Wheel of Fortune, and Knight of Coins. yep, that is my tag, the crone within. So, yeah, thank you, Sonia, for putting this together. I think it was a great tag. It definitely made me think. Sorry for the long video, but if you remember my videos, they're not exactly short. So just put me on 1.5 speed. I may talk really fast because I do that normally, but but yeah, so that's that. So yeah. So this video will go up soon. Maybe I can get it up tomorrow. I'll get them both up tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. Get the elemental foundations tag, and oh, and there's another, the hanged man tag. That one's another one that I would like to do. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Bye. Make sure to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, walk in love and light, and I will see you in the next one.